All right, let's continue on with number 10. Okay, we have a triangle like this right here. This angle right here is 120. This side is 15. And that angle is 20 degrees. And what we're looking for is we're looking for this side right here. So, obtuse triangle, we are either going to use the law of sines or the law of cosines. Now, as I said in the lesson, I'll say it again, the way you determine whether or not you can use the law of sines or the law of cosines is if you have an angle. So if you're given an angle and you're given the opposite side of that angle, so in this case we have 120 degrees and 15. If that is the case, then you use the law of sines. If that is not the case, then you use the law of cosines. So a lot of people like to say, well, if you've got angle, side, angle, or side, angle, side, or angle, angle, side, or something like that, they try to go through all those and make your determinations that way. All I'm saying is if you have the angle and the opposite side, then you use the law of sines. If not, then you use the law of cosines. Okay? And now remember what the law of sines is. The law of sines is side A over sine of A is equal to side B over sine of B is equal to side C over sine of C. Okay? So in this case we have this angle and this side, and then we're given this angle and asked to find that side. So that would be x over the sine of 20 is equal to 15 over the sine of 120. So then we cross multiply, and we have x times the sine of 120 is equal to 15 times the sine of 20. Solving for x, we divide by the sine of 120. Divide this by the sine of 120. So x is equal to 15 sine of 20 divided by sine of 120. So 15 times the sine of 20 divided by sine of 120. 5.9. So the distance of x is 5.9. Okay, so here we're using the law of sines. Okay, so now let's go to number 11. Let's get that triangle. Let's see, what do we have here? What did I do? Label that A. This is 150 degrees. This side is 10. This side is called C. This side right here, or angle rather, angle and angle. This side is 25. And I'm looking for that one right there. Okay, so did I actually write that like that? This one's going to take a little bit more work because I need to first find this angle right here. Then I need to find this angle. Then I can find that side. So to find this angle, I need to do the law of sines in this way. So I've got 10 over the sine of B is equal to 25 over the sine of 150. Okay, so let's see here. Try to shorten this up a little bit. I'm not going to. 25 times the sine of B equals 10 times the sine of 150. Oops. Divide both sides by 25. Divide by 25. And because I am looking for the angle and I have the ratio, I need to use the arc. So I will type in arc sine, and then the ratio is 10 times the sine of 150. I know it seems kind of strange using sine, using this kind of terminology in the fraction, but you can do that. Or you can just type in sine of 150 and find that decimal. And then 25 in the denominator. And that gives me 11.5 degrees. 11.5 for that angle right there. So I can find this angle, and I will say 180 minus 150, and then minus 11.5. So this angle right here is 18.5. So to complete this, to find x, I will say x over the sine of 18.5 is equal to 25 over the sine of 150. Now I could have used this angle and that side if I wanted to. And right down here I could have put 10 and then the sine of 11.5. Either one will work. Then we cross multiply, and I'll algebraically solve this because I'm running out of room. X is equal to 25 times the sine of 18.5 divided by the sine of 150. So I had to do the law of sines twice in order to find this. (25) times the sine 18.5 divided by sine 15.8. And let's see, that makes sense. This should be the longest side because it's the highest angle. And this should be the next side because that's, or no, this should be the lowest side because that's the lowest angle, and this one's between. So 15 should be between them, and it is. All right, so now let's go to number 12. This one we have to use the law of cosines on. Okay, so we're given this angle as 100. We're given this side as 10. This side is 12. That's B, so this is little b. And what we need to do is we need to find this side right here. Okay, so the law of cosines, it's in the book. I don't remember the page number, but I covered it in the lesson, what page it's on. I don't have my book with me right now, so I can't look it up real quick. But it's in there. It's in section 36-6. All right, and it is b squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus 2ac times the cosine of b. Now, there are several versions of this depending on what side it is that you're looking to find. But the side on the outside, on the other side of the equal sign, will always match up with the cosine angle of that angle. All right? All right, so now remember, just like with the Pythagorean theorem, I'm not looking for b squared, I'm looking for b, so I have to take the square root of both sides. So I put these in here. Now, I purposely did not put A or C on either one of these, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one of these is A, which one's C. So we go with 10 squared plus 12 squared minus 2, that's the constant that's in there all the time, times 10 times 12 times the cosine of angle B, and we know angle B to be 100. So, and of course we take the square root of all of that. So I can just do this right out in my calculator. The square root of, let's see, 100 plus 144 minus 2 times 10 times 12 times cosine 100. Ding, 16.9. So side B is 16.9. So you can just put that right in your calculator just like that.